What's good, producers? This is your man Jimmy Conway from InstantClassicProductions.com. This video is going to be a review on one of the best 61 key MIDI controllers under $200 that you're ever going to put your hands on. It's the Nektar Impact LX61 MIDI controller, okay? This is my 2018 review. We're going to check it out. We're going to go over to my studio over here. We're going to go over some of the features of it. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to go over some of the features, and I'm going to link some of the knobs and some of the sliders to a program called Massive. One of the plugins called Massive. I'm pretty sure you might be familiar with it. But if you're not, I'll show you that while I'm here, okay? So get ready. Here's my review, and let's go over here right now to my studio. Let's go. All right, we're back in my home recording studio. This is my Nektar Impact LX61 MIDI controller from left to right. Okay, there's all 61 keys and all the features of the keyboard. And let's get into it, all right? Starting from the top over here, we have octave up and octave down. So a real piano is going to have 88 keys. This has 61. So the octave up and octave down lets me access those keys that I'm missing on a real piano. All right. You can also transpose in semitones the keyboard also. Right here you have a modulation wheel you can use to control some of the effects in your soft sense. And over here you have a pitch bend, which bends the pitch or changes the pitch down or changes the pitch up. This is great for using like on guitars, electric guitars, acoustic guitars, and things of that nature, okay? We move over here, we have 9 sliders. These 9 sliders and 9 buttons can be used for anything in our software. So if our software synth has sliders, we could use these sliders here to control the soft synth, all right? We could use the buttons below for a couple things. We could use them in our soft synth also, and you can also use them in your DAW or your digital audio workstation. Whether you're using Logic X, you could be using FL Studio, you could be using, I don't care, man, I'm gonna go through them all. FL Studio, Logic, Reason, Cubase, Pro Tools, Digital Performer, Ableton Live. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Reason. Okay, if you're using any of these controllers, any of these softwares, these sliders and these knobs, these sliders and buttons will be accessible in those softwares. Now what I did, well, let me go further into it. Over here in the middle, the buttons over here, by the way, I was gonna say can be used in your DAW as solos and mutes. So instead of using your mouse button, you can use your faders a lot more. The faders could be used on your mixer in any of your DAWs, and these could be used as your, sorry, I'm trying to hold the phone in one hand and do everything with the other. These could be used as solos and mutes, and these could be used as your mixer faders, okay? Over here, we have the mixer button. So this will, when you hit that button, the mixer will pop up in your DAW, okay? You have an instrument button. So if you have an instrument track selected in your DAW and you hit that button, it'll bring up that instrument. Preset lets you select whatever preset you have in your synth. You have a shift button. The shift button lets you access other features deeper in the keyboard. Track lets you move, okay, so basically you only have 9 sliders here, right, and 9 buttons. But let's say you're working on a mix that has, let's say 24 tracks or 32 tracks. If you hold shift and I believe track right or track left, you can access, instead of 1 through 9, you'll be able to access 10 through 17, okay? or 18 through 24, whatever however many tracks you have. All right. So that's what the track back and forth, I believe, will let you go through and select your tracks with. Okay. Patch will let you select the patch in your synth, whatever synth you're using. Over here we have 8 knobs which we can use to control let's say filter, resonance in any of our synths, or we could use it to control like panning in our DAW. Okay. We also have a transport control. The transport control can control things like record, play, stop, fast forward, rewind, and you can also set the loop. The loop, let's say you want to set the loop between bars 1 and 5 to start making your beat. You want a 4-bar loop or whatever. You can set that with these buttons here with the shift button. Okay. You have an undo, so if you make a mistake or something, you can hit shift and stop, and that'll do an undo. If you hit shift and hold down the play button, that'll set the click off. So if you need like a metronome, it'll basically bring up the metronome. Okay. And the record button basically sets your track to ready to record and lets you record when you're ready to record. Okay. To the right of that, you have 8 pads. Now the 8 pads have they're all velocity sensitive, and you can access more than the 8 pads by holding the shift button over here and hitting pad, let's say pad map 2. You can access pads 9 through 16. If you hit shift and pad 3, you can access, 16? 17 through 23 or whatever. Okay, so you have up to 32 pads you can access. It's 8 pads in groups of 4. Okay, so you have up to 32, let's say, drum percussion sounds you can use or samples you can trigger from that. Okay, and next you have your 61 keys. All right. The great thing I like about this MIDI controller, which a lot of MIDI controllers don't have, I'm not saying all, I'm just saying some. I like the piano style right here. You see this? A lot of synths you'll see will have an empty space here, which is cool. I just like the piano look. I like the synth feel with the piano look. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of chose this one too. So yeah, those are all my advantages for it. The great advantage of this keyboard is that you're going to use the mouse a lot less with this keyboard, okay? All the functions are on here that you need, that you don't really need to go and access. You don't need the mouse as much, okay? The only con I can see really is the actual, the feel is not the greatest feel in the world. I felt greater 61 key keyboards, but the ones that felt better to me also cost a lot more money, probably double this. Okay, I'm not going to mention those names, maybe in a future video or future review, but for the money, for under $200, this is probably one of the best MIDI controllers you can get on the market. Okay. Okay, so that's going through my Yamahas and my Focusrite 8i6. Okay, that's massive right there. Okay. Okay, so let's say if I want to, like right here, as you can see, I'm not using a mouse. That's my mouse right there. I'm not using that. I'm using straight the MIDI controller right here to control that knob or that filter cutoff. Okay, so if you wanna, let's say, change, have a knob. Let's say we want to control the resonance. I'm gonna use the next pad. I'm gonna use this knob here to control the resonance, right? So what we're gonna do, let's get some more light on my screen here. We're gonna right click. We're gonna go to MIDI Learn. We're gonna come down here to my MIDI controller, And the first knob you hit will set that resonance off, okay? So that's the resonance, right? So let's say you want to control one of the faders. Let's say one of these faders is already mapped. I'm not sure which one. There we go. Right now, fader 1, I had already pre-mapped to massive, okay? But right now, we'll control this one. Right click. Oh, excuse me. Doesn't want to be right clicked, I guess. Oh, we'll right click here. Sorry. MIDI learn. Come down to my MIDI controller. We'll use this fader here. And as I bring it back up, you can see the fader is moving, okay? All right. So that's my best 61 key MIDI controller under $200. It's the Nektar Impact LX61, okay? I'll leave a link in the description where you could buy yours. And if you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. If you like the video, please subscribe, please like, and please comment. Believe me, I'd love to hear from you if you have any questions or concerns. All right. And this is the Nektar Impact LX61 review 2018. You have a wonderful day.